Welcome back to Comics History and Superhero Reviews. Today we're going to take a look at Detective Comics number 984. If you look at the title, it specifies, for those who may not know, that this is Batman Detective Comics. This is, of course, one of the oldest comic series in DC's stable. Batman first appeared in Detective Comics number 27 way back in 1939. But this is 2018 and things are a bit different. So let's take a look at the cover here. We have on the cover Batman, Black Lightning, Orphan, though the cover's a little deceptive. I'll explain why in a bit. And the title of this is Karma Comes to Gotham. And karma, as you may know, can be both good and bad in real life. We will see. So, and of course, this lists the creators: Hill, Mendonça, Egea, and Lucas. Apologies if I pronounced any of those wrong. So, the way we do things is we're going to just give a general overview of what we like or dislike about the comic, and some brief non-spoiler stuff, and then we're going to get into the more, details of the comic, open it up, show it to everybody. And so if you don't want to be spoiled, I'll give you a warning at what point you can stop the video and maybe go out and buy the comic yourself, read it, come back, look at our review, see if you agree with it or not. Whether you agree or not, we always welcome comments. And of course, always, if you like our review or find them interesting at least, please subscribe so you can be notified when we post new ones. So, just a little background. Karma is the villain. There's no secret, I think. And since he's facing the good guys and he's got swords or knives or katanas in his hand. So this villain first appeared in the previous issue, 983. We don't really know a whole lot about his background other than that he seems to have some a dislike for the bat. And but he kind of indicates that he's seeking justice. We'll see that inside. And so it's like, is he one of these bad guy anti-heroes who's really in his mind thinks he's a hero? We shall see. So, not spoiling anything here by opening up the front here. We have, this is some time ago, according to the comic, in Markovia, which I think is a stand-in for some Russian satellite. So, the grammar of this character definitely sounds Slavic or Russian. So we get some blood money, literally. And we find out that this thing that he's buying is a helmet that lets him read minds. Interesting. So that would be an interesting power. And she's the language here is interesting. And we'll talk a bit about how the dialogue is going, but just give you an example here. She says, "Da, what you want for it? Make money, make army, try kill Superman." So again, Superman is always dominating things, it seems like. So before we get into the full review here, let me just say that I like the writing. Brian Hill wrote it. I think he's got a very interesting story going here. I'll stay up front. I'm looking forward to reading more of this particular story. The art by Mendonça is average, so-so. It's not terrible. It's not super. But it serves. It's kind of journeyman-like. I don't really think it's puts him in the top tier of artists. I don't think it puts him in the bottom tier. I've seen much worse. So I've seen other reviews out there on YouTube talking about this guy's art and really panning him. Diversity in Comics is the YouTube channel I was looking at, and that is a person who knows art and is an artist. So I understand his criticisms, but as a layman looking at it, I'm more focused on the story for the most part and the art. That is it working? Does it work for the actions? Does it work to show that this is Batman, Bruce Wayne, etc., whoever the characters are? And in that regard, it does. Is it super? No. Is it bad? Is it horrible? No. All right, so this point we're going to get into the guts of the book. I've already said that I like it. Very intrigued by the storyline. The dialogue is good. I think his characterizations of Batman, Alfred, the other characters that I'm familiar with are good. The villain seems villainous, but I think in his mind he thinks he's doing a good job. So we're going to go ahead and open it up. We'll be spoiling the inside and the storyline. So if you want to stop the video at this point, go purchase the comic and take a look at it. Now's the time to do it. So moving on. So this is several years ago, as it says. Now this is today, Gotham now. So the person running is Cassandra Cain, also known as Orphan. She doesn't talk much. And the person attacking her is, there's that helmet again. So this is the dude, and we'll see his name later on, Karma. So they engage in some combat. He basically is kicking her butt. And interesting little splash page there. Again, not the best art in the world. Not the worst. Then we switch over to a airfield in Gotham, where we have Batman talking to Jefferson Pierce. Jefferson Pierce, as you may know, is AKA Black Lightning. That is an interesting TV show. I want to say it's on Netflix. I might be wrong on that. I think it's Netflix. I watched the first few episodes. It's pretty good. So Batman is basically recruiting Black Lightning to help him out. Now, this is an example of the dialogue I like. So Black Lightning, being a superhero, isn't terribly intimidated by the Bat. And he says, it wouldn't kill you to say please. Superman says please. Hell, Wonder Woman says please. Batman says, he's talking to someone on his bat ear. So this problem in Gotham. He never does say please, by the way. So, and here's the big reveal of how they're going to get there. The Batmobile. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. And again, an example of the art. I've seen better versions of the Batmobile. But they get into the Batmobile, and then they move on. And then we go back to the fight between Karma and Orphan. Not going well for Orphan. More combat. She says something, no. He's about to kill her when zap. And here is Black Lightning. This is actually a pretty good scene showing Black Lightning doing his thing. And they have never met before, apparently. So Orphan and Black Lightning. Moving on. And then, a car door. And so we now see that our bad guy has powers. Apparently he absorbs the lightning. And he has grenades. Not good. Here's an ad for Superman #1, Brian Michael Bendis. We'll look at that later. Moving on. He has some high tech. He basically says he gets to absorb powers. And he knows Batman's on the way and uses Black Lightning's power against the Bat. That looks painful. That looks painful too. So, remember, the helmet, it reads minds. So, Karma says, your minds exhaust me. Your thoughts, most of all, Bruce. So, he obviously knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne. That adds a little extra oomph to his villainy. So strange. Of all the things to remember from that night, you chose pearls. Pretty much every iteration of Batman's origin story shows his mother being murdered and the pearl necklace being essential to that scene. So, our heroes try to get back to Karma. He escapes. And this is interesting because Batman, trusts Black Lightning enough to say, well, in response to Black Lightning's question, Batman, you need help. What do I do? Call Alfred. Okay, sure. Who's Alfred? And then next scene, of course, stately Wayne Manor. Everyone's out of their costume. And this dialogue, I won't read the whole thing, between Alfred and Franklin Pierce, Black Lightning, Jefferson Pierce, is quite good. This is the example I gave of Brian Hill's dialogue being superior. And this is part of what grabbed me. So I won't go through the whole thing, but Alfred has some definite thoughts on the topic being all the kids who are brought to Wayne Manor. And that is, again, looking at the history of the Batman and Wayne Manor and the Batcave and everything goes on there. So this is actually a pretty good scene in terms of the art. Batman got beat up. We now see the effects on Bruce Wayne. And they have a discussion here about what Black Lightning, why he's been recruited by Batman. And it comes down to Batman then talks about the kids in question here. And we see Duke Thomas, who's injured, being tended to by Alfred. Poor Alfred. He has to take care of all these injured people. Thomas has been one of the Robins. He has currently called Signal, and he has kind of a yellow outfit. That's referenced by Karma in an earlier scene. Then we see Orphan again. Then they show Barbara Gordon. And so basically, Bruce says he wants Black Lightning to be their leader, their mentor, because the kids make him weaker. This is also a pretty good scene here. So, despite the title on the front, Karma Comes to Gotham, we found out the actual title of the book is On the Outside Part 2. Part 1 being the previous issue, of course. So here we have the credits. I noticed DC Comics is doing this lately. Puts it on the back. Brian Hill writer. Miguel Mendoza pencils, kind of average. Diana Egea inks, not too bad. Adriana Lucas colors, not bad, and so on. And we have all kinds of various variant people. And Batman created by Bob Kane with Bill Finger. And then we have an ad for Justice League. So, and then we have an ad for Snickers. So Joker, Batman, Robin, and Snickers. Yeah. Anyway, so again, this was an intriguing book. Art is average, but okay. The writing, I think, is very good. The dialogue is very good. Hill is bringing up conversations, discussions, controversies within the Bat family. And I'm really curious as to who Karma is and what his deal is. So, this has been our review of Detective Comics number 984, featuring Batman and a couple allies and an intriguing new villain, Karma. So, thank you for watching this review by Comics History and Superhero Reviews. If you like it or find it interesting, please subscribe. And we'll be back with the next Detective Comics when that comes out. And we'll be reviewing other comics as well. Superman and Man of Steel. And should be getting Batman 51 in the mail here pretty soon also. All right. Until next time. See you later.